I am excited. We have made it to Emily Dickinson, who is someone who has grown on me over the years to the point that I would say she really is probably one of my favorite poets. I guess probably because I was forced to read her growing up. And that's not fair because she has wonderful poems, but like that's what got me started on her. And I do think that it's kind of great to kind of immerse people in a poet from a young age, like I was told about Emily Dickinson in my high school and maybe in elementary school. Probably for a long time I've known about Emily Dickinson. So this is thrilling to get to do her today. Um, she was born in 1830 and died in 1886. She was born in Amherst, Massachusetts, of a prominent family. She got to attend Mount Holyoke Female Seminary, which is now a college called Mount Holyoke Female College, I guess, or just Mount Holyoke College in South Hadley, then withdrew and returned to Amherst. I feel like dropping out is a theme in poets. Um, she lived with in her family house in Amherst from 1848 on. And I'm reminding you that's all the way to 86 when she died. She rarely received visitors and in her mature years never went out. She suffered from agoraphobia, the fear of public places, and perhaps an eye disorder, and she became known as the myth, the character of Amherst. Fewer than a dozen of her poems were published in her lifetime. Such a solitary life hardly dulled her sensibilities. However, for Dickinson's works include nearly 2,000 poems, plus voluminous correspondences. The poems reveal her intimate knowledge of the Bible, classical myth, and the works of Shakespeare. In addition, she admired the works of Transcendentalists Thoreau and Emerson, not Thomas. In an era marked by evangelical fervor, Dickinson adopted skepticism, irony, ambiguity, paradox, and sardonic wit. She often wrote in the meters of hymns and made masterful uses of ballad, stanza, and of slant rhyme. Although her innovations initially baffled critics, the public's fascination with her life um, soon extended to her verse. She is, along with Walt Whitman, the most revered and influential of the 19th century American poets. And without further ado, her poems, I guess, were named by a number. And this one says 39, and then it says parentheses 49. And I think there's a footnote on why that is. No, there is not a footnote on why that is, but okay. Maybe it's every single line she wrote was one number? No, because that's not 10 numbers. I don't know, but we're going to read it anyway. I never lost as much but twice, and that was in the sod. Twice have I stood a beggar before the door of God. Angels twice descending reimbursed my store. Burglar, banker, father, I am poor once more. That's very interesting. I never lost as much but twice. I'm poor once more. So it's like about life and death. It's very interesting. This one's called 68 or 89. So I don't know what that's about. 68 parentheses 89. Oh, hold on. Here's a footnote. I'm jumping ahead. um, R. W. Franklin's 1998 editions of Emily Dickinson's poems built on and is now supplemented by the editions of Thomas Johnson, 1955 and following, in which most current contemporary readers are familiar. Phrasing, spelling, punctuations, and other features of Franklin, often differing from Johnson, reflect closely the possible Dickinson's choices. Um, but I don't see anything about the number. Each poem here is identified by Franklin's number and then Johnson's number in parentheses. So here's Franklin's 68. Some things that fly, there be. Birds, ours, the bumblebee. Of these, no elegy. Some things that stay there be, grief, hills, eternity, nor this behoveth me. There are that resteth rise. Can I expound the skies? How still that riddle lies. And here is Franklin's 112. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. No one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clearly as of so clear of victory. As he defeated dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph burst agonized and clear. I've read that one many times in my life. Here's number 124, and that's a Franklin number. Safe, and it says first version. Safe in their alabaster chambers, untouched by morning and untouched by noon, sleep the meek members of the resurrection rafters of Satan or Sadden. Which one is it? Satan. A roof of stone. Light laughs the breeze in her castle above them. Babbles the bees in a stolid ear, pipe the sweet birds in ignorant cadence. Ah, what sagacity perished here. I'd heard that one before. Here's a Franklin 124. Safe in their alabaster chambers. That sounds so familiar. I have to look back to see if I already did it. I don't know. Oh, it starts the same. Oh, this is the second version. Safe in their alabaster chambers, untouched by morning and untouched by noon, sleep the meek members of the resurrection, rafter of Satan, roof of stone. Grand go the years, and the crescent above them, worlds scoop their arcs, and firmaments row. Diadems drop, and dodges surrender, soundless as dots on a disk of snow. Very different. 145, and that's the Franklin numbers. A little east of Jordan, evangelists record, a gymnast and an angel did wrestle long and hard, till morning touching mountain, and Jacob waxing strong, the angel begged permission to breakfast to return. Not so, said cunning Jacob. I will not let thee go, except thou bless me, stranger. The which acceded to. Light swung the silver fleeces, pineal hills beyond, and the bewildered gymnast found he had worsted God. Here's one called 202, 202, the Franklin numbers. Faith is a fine invention for gentlemen who see, but microscopes are prudent in an emergency. Good. 259 is the Franklin number. A clock stopped, not the mantles. Geneva's farthest skill can put the puppet bowing. Now, just that just now dangled still. An awe came on the trinket. The figures hunched without pain and quivered out of decimals into degreeless noon. It will not stir for doctors, this pendulum of snow. The shopman's importunes it, while cool concernless know, nods from the guiled pointers, nods from the seconds slim, decades of arrogance between the dial life and him. I don't know if I'm going to do all of them. There are a lot of them in here. Here's at least one more. Maybe the last one. Number 260 in the in Franklin's numbers. I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. Don't tell. They advertise, you know. How dreary to be somebody. How public, like a frog. To tell one's name the livelong June, to an admiring bog. I really like that. More than I think I did when I was younger. Here's another one. I just can't help myself. All right, 269 in Franklin's numbers. Wild nights, where I with thee, where I with thee. Wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, the sea, might I but more tonight in thee. Is that a poem from the perspective of a boat? Yeah, I guess so. Am I gonna do one more? Oh, I have to. I have to do this one. This one, 314. Everybody knows Benjamin's 314. I mean Franklin, not Benjamin. Franklin's 314. Okay. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. The sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird and kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. I have to read one more. I'll be done. I promise this will be the last one, but this other one is kind of famous too. She has so many famous poems. All right, number 320. There's a certain slant of light, winter afternoons, that oppresses like the heft of cathedral tunes. Heavenly hurt it gives us, We can find no scar, but internal difference where the meanings are. None may teach it any. 'Tis the seal despair, an imperial affliction sent us of the air. When it comes, the landscape listens, shadows hold their breath. When it goes, 'tis like the distance on the look of death. A poem about hope, comparing it to, I thought it says a slant of light, but I thought it also was comparing it to, well, many things. I don't know. For some reason I thought there was, I got, oh, there's hope. Oh, there's hope. The previous one was hope is the thing with feathers. This is a slant of light. What is a slant of light about? I'm confused. Slant of light. I thought it was also about, I don't know. Don't ask me to know everything. I will look into it more. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.